Phil, we would be remiss today if we did not talk about everything that happened this week with just a literal goddamn upsetting of our fucking market economy. Ain't it a bitch, man? God damn.
Oh, it's been insane, G. It has been out of control. It's been damn near illegal at times.
Damn near, but still not, but still not exactly
Somehow.
fucking illegal. You know what I mean? So let's take a look real quick if we possibly can. Boom. We're gonna take it down to Wall Street real quick. And we're gonna take a look at some of the stuff that happened this week with all of that, and let's take it to the screens right off the bat, my man.
The hedge,
boom! GameStop stock price reaches an all-time high as investors attempt short squeeze. Now, guys, if you didn't hear anything about it at all this week, basically what happened is a bunch of investors were looking to short GameStop, which means they borrowed shares in order to sell them immediately, assuming the price would drop. They could buy them back, pocket the difference, and pay off the people they borrowed from. That didn't happen. When you find out people short, you can do what's called a short squeeze and buy up a bunch of them. Hold up!
Oh, shit!
That might be a stream boss change. I'm not totally sure, but quack to the check, you motherfuckers been done. Wow, the Debris. Holy shit, Phil. That hit out of fucking nowhere, and that is, in fact, a new stream boss.
It is.
Give it up for Culta Krill. That's what I'm talking about. Krill Show Cult member, Comma Club member, former stream boss, multiple-time stream boss, Culta Krill, my personal hero, calling down the Krill cannon for $100 American. Woo!
There's
So
no
that's
proof.
everything I have to say about that Krill cannon. Thank you, Colt to Krill. All right, let's try to hit it. So, guys, basically, that's what a short is. If you don't know, a short squeeze is when you find out that that's going to happen, and then you find a way to buy up a bunch of that stock and raise the price so that the people that hedged their bets against where the market was going to go now end up owing large amounts of money to the people they borrowed the stocks from and having to buy them from you at an insanely inflated price. If you've seen Trading Places, that's exactly what they do with the fucking orange juice at the end. There's one more step to it, too, but part of it is a squeeze. No pun intended with the fucking orange juice.
Orange juice. I get it.
Yeah, you see
I see what they did there.
So, that's essentially what happened this week. A bunch of people found out that short was going to happen. They attempted to squeeze that short to at least some level of success. And a bunch of people noticed that it was happening too. GameStop jumped again after hours as Elon Musk tweets out Reddit board that's hyping the stock. You might have seen this week too. A few people got a hold of it early, and holy shit, did it make a fucking jump. And even though the stock started off as half of a fucking meme, realistically, it got extremely fucking high. Now, you might say, this is amazing. People are making use of systems that they didn't know how to use before in order to create wealth for themselves the exact same way that all these fucking Wall Street cats have been doing for years on end already, right? Good for them for learning and taking advantage of programs that are available to them, right? Sounds good. They just
played the game better than the rich people.
Yeah,
you know?
my mind, that's fucking capitalism. That's hands-off, government not interfering with it, willing trade between two parties and profit coming from those trades. That's capitalism, man. Now, here's where it starts to be a problem, Phyllis, and oh, did it start being a fucking problem. Turned out it was going to be a little bit tough for the SEC to manipulate how all this was going, right? They found out too many of the poors were getting rich quick with all of this, and you know these motherfuckers don't like that, because if they weren't the only ones that had the financial power to influence political lobby, then they wouldn't always get their goddamn way. Isn't that interesting? Now, it was tough to do that, so what do? Well, shit rolls downhill, unfortunately.
Of course it does.
Loads.
The loads!
Come on, loads. Oh, you bastard.
CNBC.
Just airing a plain white screen, CNBC. What are we doing here, man?
Wow.
You know what? Maybe the fucking article's gone, man. It was an article about Robinhood claiming that they had increased deposit requirements, which slowed their verification process, and that's why they had to restrict who bought what.
Right.
You know what I mean? Funny how that article's fucking... Oh, look, it is gone. See? It's fucking gone.
Didn't they already admit it was because they didn't have enough money to pay out the, investors or whatever?
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Fucking assholes.
Fucking gone, man. Fucking gone. So anyway, that works to some extent, as you might know. The CEO of Robinhood did, in fact, limit trading, which realistically he does not have the fucking power to do. He did it anyway, and he claimed that he didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Oh, what are we supposed to do? I don't know if you saw his ass on TV, but he really looked like a little bitch by the end of that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not great. It was not great. So people get mad because they immediately notice that Robinhood is fucking them over and not letting them trade freely. Their whole thing was about trade freely, about how not only the super rich should have access to the fucking stock market, investing in the companies that they believe in. Everybody should be able to do that. And that's accurate. And as much as your average Twitter socialist this week thinks that's a gotcha, no, in fact, that's what capitalism is. All we really need is for the government to not fucking interfere. But we're talking about the U.S. federal government here. So, right on cue, the SEC vows to punish abusive activity amid GameStop and Robinhood drama. Isn't that interesting? Hands up in the chat. Who out there is holding GameStop stock? Who's holding those stonks for GameStop right now? Who's got them?
Drink.
I'm going to take a drink. You tell me who's got them.
I bet we got some people in the chat who's got some
I bet there's
stonks.
a couple. I bet there's a couple people who won't even say they got it, but got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
SEC thinks they're gonna pull a fucking fast one out there, but I'm not totally buying it. Doesn't mean that they're not gonna try. Look at this, and this is not necessarily proven, but it is interesting. It says, I work for Robinhood, don't kill me. Low-level tech shit, not finance. But what I heard over day is the founder, Vladimir, and the C-suite received calls from Sequoia Capital and the White House that pressured them into closing trading on GameStop.
Damn.
So, where the SEC was having difficulty limiting the trade of that particular stock, they were able to then convince the White House to put pressure on the brokerage, Robinhood in this case, to limit trading that way because they were unable to do it themselves. This is still interference in trade coming from the federal level. It's still exactly this fucking same thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
File reports on the SEC page. If I wasn't scared to be out of work in a pandemic, I'd quit. I'm disgusted. We have to rise up. This is as bad as it gets when we talk about how the rich get one set of rules and the rest of us get screwed over and over again. And how many times have I told you motherfuckers on this show, our real division in this country is many layers as we mask it under. It isn't about political party or religion or race. It's rich and poor, and it has been for a long fucking time. That's our
only
biggest
color that matters is green.
The only color that matters is green, and here we're seeing it. They get rules, and we get something else entirely. Holy shit. And I tell you what, when we find ways to finally come together, and I'll be damned if it may end up being that this is the thing that brings the United States populace back together. I don't care what it takes. If it means us coming together, I'm into it, man. But it makes for strange bedfellows when this happens. Like this. Absolutely. Yeah. Elon Musk backs AOC's call to hold hearings on Robinhood barring GameStop purchases. Excellent pick on the pictures, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice
he's like pointing
there.
at her.
It's like
he's pointing at her.
Get a load of this guy, Cam. You know what I mean? Look at this. Do you believe this broad right here?
That face, man. What is he doing?
Who the fuck knows, dude? When you have that much goddamn money, who the fuck knows what that guy's doing?
You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can you can come out looking like howdy doody and making weird faces and shit.
Right. Nobody even fucking notices, man. And luckily there's at least some sentiment in that direction because our new Secretary of the Treasury, by the way, Janet Yellen, she received $810,000 in speaking fees from the hedge fund in particular that is in the middle of the GameStop saga. So, whose side do you think she took? Huh?
I wonder.
Secretary of the Treasury. So when you wonder why federal fucking fingers reach down into brokerage companies and tell them what to do with the market, and you go, who the fuck is making these decisions? I invite you to look at Janet Yellen. I have no idea how she got this goddamn job, to be perfectly honest with you.
Oh, yeah. She's a terrible, terrible person.
Well, and I don't think she's attractive enough to have sucked her way to the top, to be frank. So I don't know, man. But when you see stuff like this happen, there's a lot of broken taillight stuff going on here, too. It gives you perfect excuses to get rid of things that you don't like. Discord bans Wall Street bets for hateful and discriminatory content.
Discriminatory?
Was it? Or did
What
you just
discriminatory
did you need a reason
content?
to get rid of them? Gotta be careful just fucking getting rid of people like that. They don't like it. And a lot of times they try to do something fucking crazy to retaliate. Sometimes it's not very effective, though. New York young Republicans plan to reoccupy Wall Street after GameStop debacle. Okay, all right, guys. Now, I like your spirit. I'm glad that you're trying something, but come on, this is going to do nothing. This is going to do nothing.
No, it didn't do anything. Whenever
didn't do anything last time.
Liberals did it. Yeah.
And you know what happened last time? Just in case anybody forgot, Occupy Wall Street were labeled terrorists by the FBI. So be careful with standing around near the money, because you see how quickly big money can influence federal government to make new rules for regular people by proxy so that nobody ends up with the fucking blame. These are your most bleeding heart liberals, and all they did was stand around in the street and they were labeled terrorists by the FBI. Funny how that correlates to today. I'm just saying, be careful with this shit. You don't want to end up like this terrorist right here. A 10-year-old investor made big bucks on the GameStop shares he got for Kwanzaa. Somebody gave him $60 in GameStop for Christmas or for Kwanzaa. That kid just got $3,200, bought him a new gaming PC.
Oh, man.
Good old that
Hell
kid.
Yeah. But
this is domestic terrorism.
He's a
this
weird-looking white supremacist terrorist, I'll tell you that.
This kid's a goddamn terrorist. Come on. All he did is play the same fucking game that these fat cats have been playing for years and years. But now that the secret's out, ooh, they don't like nobody else getting in on it. All I'm saying is I want to find this kid's Twitch channel and follow it today, because you know he got a new PC.
Yeah.
$3,200? That's dope.
He got a new PC, he got a new mic set up and shit, dude. He got some banging speakers.
He's all cleaned up. He's got a nice little system going now. You love to see it.
He deserves it.
So all I'm saying is don't let the federal government tell you what to do with your money.
Happy Kwanzaa.
They reach their happy Kwanzaa to you. That's right. The less they stick their hands in the fucking honeypot, the better off we all are.
I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium. Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for spying on women.